Hey, everybody, and welcome back. Well, actually, I'm coming back. So I am here. I was there, and I'll be back there again shortly. I just wanted to come in, get a quick market update out to you guys. And of course, today, for a very large Sri Lankan community, we're helping to support a concert. So came in for that because what an amazing group of people. And back out to there again. So with that, let's get the show on the road. First, let's make sure that we subscribe, share, and like the videos. Hey, listen, here's the thing. Again, there's no selling. So this is just really free, great, real-time information. And the more you share it, it improves the algorithm, the little YouTube program that shares it with others who need really good, solid information, as you're going to get here. So make sure you do that. And, well, let's get the show on the road. All right. So you've been hearing that mortgage interest rates came down, that sales are down, and, oh my gosh, real estate prices are down. And I'm like, okay, so hang on a second. That's maybe a national stat, but ours, let's go into that. I'm going to show you some solid metrics. I'm going to show you just, again, because we deal with only residential. Now, the other folks, they include vacant land, they manufactured homes and condos and all of the other multifamily, other different types of real estate. We focus on residential sales, single family homes. Why? It's a constant. Why? That is the bulk of what we do. Condos is a different report. Multifamily, that's a different report. Again, because they're different. You don't compare, a four-door sedan with a bulldozer. You just don't. They're two different things. That's like saying multifamily needs to be brought in with single family, and they're different. So understand that. All right. So let's get on the show here. And let's hit our first little metric here. Take a look at this. So first, we have 1,197 homes that came on the market today. Today's Friday. That is totally common to see a large number like that. Normally, it's been between about 800, 850-ish. Let's see, our pending sales are 1,236. So still, we're seeing more homes going pended, albeit a very narrow gap there, than we did with what's new on market. Okay. Now, 1,082 sales. Those are homes that closed. Buyer, seller agree on terms. It closed. Here's the thing. Since the middle of October, we have seen more homes going off market than coming on market. Now, week before last, was the difference. It was the only week so far where we had more homes coming on market, which is right after the holiday, than we did have coming, or actually just before the holiday, I should say, than we had going off market. So when we take a look at these numbers, you can tell, you can say, no, hang on a second. Are you saying our sales are down? Why are our sales down? Well, let's just talk about that, because what you can't sell what you don't have. And we're going to get into the inventory here in a second. But take a look at this. Actually, did I buy fast? Nope, I guess not. I got one out of order. All right. So when we talk about pricing, this is super important, because one of the things that you're hearing right now is that, oh my gosh, sales prices are falling, going down, circling with the tidy bowl man. And I'm like, whoa, time out a second. What are you talking about? And let's keep things in perspective, okay? There's two different numbers that sometimes kind of get cross-populated, and there's a little bit of confusion. You see, because there's two different numbers. See, there are the average sales price, this one right here, and then there's what we call the market value price. Those are two different numbers. An average sales price is coming down. Why? Well, people only can afford so much per month. As the interest rates go up, and in this circumstance, doubled, all right, as that goes up and the cost of funds, the cost of money is a lot higher, That means that you qualify for less. That doesn't mean that the pent-up buyer demand isn't there. That doesn't mean that homes are going off market. That doesn't mean that homes are coming down in value necessarily, when we can actually show that home appreciation is up about 4% year to date. That's about where we expected it to be for the entire year. So actually, we're doing a little bit better. I don't expect too much more depending on what rates do. Now, they did come down, but here, take a look at this slide really fast. All right, when we take a look at this slide, it shows last year in the middle of 694,035. That was our average sales price. Today, it's 693,356, or a difference of 0.1%. 0.1%. That's it. 0.1. That's sales price. That's actually pretty good, all things considered, because when you see the rest of our metrics here, you're going to start to understand why we're starting to see a little bit of that downward trend on sales price. And again, a lot of that is because our mortgage rates started going up because of some of the tomfoolery that was going back into Washington, D.C., or what we say, the other Washington. Things are starting to level out. So here's the thing. Lawrence Yun from the National Association of Realtors couldn't have said it any better. Well, other than myself, maybe. Anyway, really, any interest rate, mortgage interest rate above 6.6 or 6.8%, buyers pull back. What he said really was anything above 6.8%, boop, buyers kick out. Anything below 6.6%, boop, they come back in. Totally normal. Why? Well, because you can buy more, and it has a big difference on the basically what comes out of your pocket every single month and how much home you can afford. You afford less, you buy less, your average sales price is less. Duh. Anyway, all right. So moving on with that, do not confuse average sales price with home values, because well-priced homes today are still seeing multiple offers. Heck, we just lost out on 2 of them that had multiple offers. Now, if everything was crashing and burning so horribly, why are there still multiple offers? Okay, hang on a second. We're going to get to that. All right. So we go off to our next slide here. We talk about May versus May versus May. Okay. And what we're looking at here are new listings. Note May 2020 on the left-hand side, the first M. And then the middle M, or I guess left of middle, is the 2021. Then May 2022. And then all of a sudden you see this massive fall off on inventory. And that is a big deal, because remember, I just said you can't sell what you don't have. So we have a serious shortage of inventory. And you might say, George, how is that possible? They're saying inventory is on the way up. No. Okay, let's go with no. Let's just pull in the real numbers. You can see here, we're going to pull in our early numbers of May, and let's take a look at this. So when we compare on the right-hand column year to date, okay, that's the beginning, January 1, 2023, and January 1, 2022, year over year, year to date. Holy moly, look at that. So you have today, we've got 8,384 homes available. Well, technically yesterday. All right. And there's a 3,400 home difference, meaning last year we had 11,773 homes. Now, wait a second. Now, you just read some report that says, George, the inventory, it's going up. It's going crazy. Prices are falling. Interest rates, they're starting to come back down. My gosh, real estate is going to just fall in a hole. Well, that hole is pucky hole based on what we're seeing here. We are still seeing quite a bit of activity. But let's get back to our other numbers here. Now, in defense of that, we do have 12,900, and these are rounded up or rounded off, 12,900 short of new listings coming on market. Solds are down 4,800 year over year. Pendants are down 7,600 year over year. Okay, so remember, there's 2 different prices. There's market value, and then there's average sales price. And sometimes the 2 really don't have any relationship. But it's easier to track the actual, average sales price, because that is a metric that we can see every single day as homes sell. We can see that. We have real numbers, or what we call dynamic, actual real-time numbers, number of homes for sale. Okay. New on market. Okay. What just went pending? Okay. Solds. Solds are always looking in the rearview mirror. Okay. And that is a lagged time. And so looking at market values, we see appreciation in certain areas in which is expected and is very slow growing. Why? We still have a massive pent-up demand of buyers. Yes, interest rates is it's like turning the tap on your faucet. When the interest rates go down, you just turn that baby wide open. But when interest rates get above 6.6, 6.7%, whoop, starts to scale back. 6.8, you might as well just turn it off. By the time it hits 7%, they've pulled off. It's like the investors. They said, oh my gosh, investors, they've been vacating 49% since last year. It's the biggest, pullback from investors ever. No kidding. When you go from 3.5% to 7%, that is a bottom line number. Of course they're pulling back. Of course they have to wait for the rates to go down because things don't pencil without putting an inordinate amount of cash into it, which then, well, that doesn't make sense on the internal rate of return unless you're buying it at some amazing price. I digress. Let's keep going. So when we take a look at our next slide here, and we take a look at what has happened. So what circled was June of last year. You can see that is 11,773. Happens to be the magic number we're seeing today. But look at that. We saw 11,000, 13,000, 13,000, 13, 3. Then all of a sudden, when we talked about middle of October, those numbers starting to come back, we're starting to see those numbers start to come down. Not because of seasonality necessarily, but because we started seeing more pended than sold. Rates also came down at that point, which was a big deal. And you can see how that fluctuates. So when we hit over to our next slide, let's take a look at new construction. New construction, again, is doing the same thing. We're up 28.5%. That is a big number. It is basically just shy of 1,000 homes. Well, that's a big deal. And why is new construction, why are they being so aggressive? Why are we seeing so many sales there? Well, because you're still getting incentives and we have a serious lack of inventory. We should be between 18,000 and 22,000 homes, all things considered. And you might be saying, wait a second, George, you have like 8,000 homes. I'm like, I know. We're like 10,000 short of where we should be. Why are prices being held up? Because we have no inventory. And again, we're still dealing with scarcity. 4 to 6 months is what used to be said is the balanced market between a buyer and a seller. Well, the deal is we've been at a month, 2 months, month and a half, month and 3/4, a month, shade over a month, shade under a month for the last 10 years. Is this our new norm? Are we not going to see the 4 to 6 months average? I don't know. Maybe. The key is we've been seeing a pretty constant limited inventory for such a long period of time, since 2013, which was a turnaround from the 2008 debacle. Anyway, let's move on. Let's take a look at, yes, REOs and bank owned for our clients there. Look, again, it's the same thing, right? They say, oh my gosh, inventory for bank owned homes is up. And I heard something like 30%, and I laughed. And I'm like, dude, you're dealing with a super tiny number. And they're like, and sales are down like 10%. That's 14 homes. You take a tiny number and double it. Of course, it's still a tiny number. It looks good. But unless you have a point of reference like this to show you what the real numbers are, I guess it doesn't much matter. But here's the thing. REOs and foreclosures, that's a tiny number. That's super tiny numbers here. And the fact that, we have twice as many homes available today than last year for bank owned across the entire Northwest MLS. That's half of Washington State. That's nothing. We used to have that in one city in 2008. That's nothing. That is peanuts. So again, make sure you keep everything in perspective. And bank foreclosures, listen, in fact, some of our clients, at the credit unions and whatnot, they're bobbling their head. Yes, this is true. They get back a home. Paint, carpet, and vinyl, get it back on the market at full price to mitigate the loss. Why? Because our area is still one of the top 5 sweet spots. We will get that dollar, and they then mitigate any of that loss. Hence, loss mitigation. So don't think that foreclosures in our area are a great idea. It's not. If you're looking at really great values, look at homes that where the buyer or the seller lost their buyer, or the builder lost their buyer. They're coming back on market. Okay, take a look at those. Take a look at homes where it is now either expired or canceled and they had the wrong opportunity. Look at the recently reduced as an option to consider. Actually, target a home before they reduce and before they anchor on that next price. Really, for a buyer, that's your best option. Sellers, best thing you can do, kick out the sentimental equity. I'm just telling you, kick out the sentimental equity and make sure that you're dealing with real solid numbers or time on market. Just like the last couple of videos, we talk about if your home sells in the first 7 days, you get between 100 and 107% of list price. You miss that mark, you got to 20 days, you're only going to look at 98, 96% of list price. You miss that and you go to 40 days on market, look, you're only going to look at 92, 93% of list price. Time on market is directly proportional to dollars in your back pocket. Don't overprice your home. Well-priced homes are still seeing multiple offers. I'm telling you, it's statistically there. I'll show it to you. If you have a question, I'll Zoom with you. Just let me know. We love questions. Make sure you ask all these beautiful questions because we love questions. All right, moving on. Let's talk a little bit about lending. As you can see, even though we're up just a tiny little bit today, we actually came back down. And we're actually down to where about a 2-week low, which is super important. Freddie Mac, this is our Freddie Mac side. Their par pricing is 6.79. That means not buying down the rate. We're not offering any incentives. We have no additional add-ons. That is just par pricing. Why is that important? Super important because you need to understand value. 5 questions to ask while getting quoted rate. We posted that link for last week. If we can, we'll do it for you this week. Understand, watch it, understand it. So you understand fully when you take a look at an actual mortgage rate, because we go through some really great examples. In the meantime, remember, ask questions. There's no selling here. If you are represented by somebody else, does not matter. Just ask the question. We do respond to you in 30 minutes, except for on Sunday. And maybe today, because, well, we got some things going. Some people are asking what that is. That would be it's my wife walking on the beach as I was taking a picture, because that's where I'm going to go back out to. In the meantime, I will see you guys on the next video. Remember, smash that subscribe button. Absolutely share this with people that you like. Hopefully you find this educational and informative. And again, remember to ask those questions. In the meantime, all the best to you and your family. I'll see you on the next video. Take care.